Hi everyone. It is your girl Jay, and I'm here with
Booyaka, booyaka! Breakmaster's here!
and welcome back after taking a break last week. We are back with the number one anime podcast in the galaxy. Sorry to any other podcast, but you're gonna have to step your game up, unfortunately. So we are back with we're gonna I have a couple topics break. I know I didn't ask you beforehand if you had any topics that you wanted to talk about. Um,
there is one. Well, there's two. One is actually within the episode.
ooh,
So
okay. I love an
yeah, yeah.
episode relevant topic. But since we have been kind of away for a while, chat, how are you? How are you doing? And also break, what have you been up to? How's your week been? Etc.
Oh, oh. Well, some of you guys already in the chat know how my week has been going. So thank you guys for being there. I appreciate you guys. Say how you doing, Sage? You actually here? Hopefully you enjoy the show, sir. But it's been very interesting, very great. This honestly probably been the best week stream wise I've had in forever. Honestly, this is like I don't know what's going on because like Sunday we popped off. We had these nice fellow people come through, right? So I don't even know. Yeah, you weren't there to see this. So this his name's Avanchi, right? That's the name. He came through. He's like, "Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?" And then this dude brought his girlfriend, brought his friends. Then his friends came, and his other friends came. It was like a
A
whole freaking
party.
party. I was like, "What's going on here?" I got smacked so hard with a bunch of follows. I was like, "What is this?" So yeah, that was something that was crazy that was going on just on a Sunday. And I was like, I didn't even know that was gonna pop off that hard. 'Cause I don't know. I don't normally stream on that day,
Oh
and just
yeah, you did. I did see your tweet when you were just like, "This is random, but I might be live in a bit."
yeah, took a nice little selfie and everything. I got a nice cut and everything. I was like, man, I'm feeling good today. All right. And then yeah, then Tuesday was
I was there for that one.
yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
that was the dopest. Like, honestly, and I feel like, not to be corny or whatever, but like, I feel like you are such a good streamer. You're such a wholesome person. I should probably let you tell that
Oh.
story first because people don't even know what I'm talking about. But before that, you're such a wholesome person, and I feel like you're just like when like you're like killing it when you're like your streams pop and stuff like that. Like I feel like there's nothing else you can feel except happy for you because I feel like you do work so hard. Like you're constantly out here grinding. Every time I pop up in your stream, like I feel like everyone who enters your stream feels like the most important person in the world because I feel like you really do be like having like conversations with people and like make a really really nice positive atmosphere. But I guess I'll let you tell them what actually happened before I just say all this.
Hey, look, I try my best. I'm glad you think so highly of me and you guys enjoy my streams in the first place. But I was just trying to finish the game.
Hmm.
Like I was trying to finish this game. Me and Andy were on the case, right? We were trying to finish this game, see what's going on at the end here, because that ending was something else. I was like, what the heck is going on here? But we're just trying to do that, and then all of a sudden, good friend Carlo coming through all of a sudden wanted to start just throwing bits at me. There was a bunch of bits, 100 there, 100 there, 100 there. Then he started just throwing some gift subs at me. Then his other friend came through, freaking C Scroll come all of a sudden. He said, you know what? I'm feeling generous today. Start smacking me with a bunch of freaking gift subs. I was like, what is going on here? Like, I don't know. You come in here, you sub to me, you resubbed. I was like, okay, thank you. My brother, my moderator, my brother comes through. He's like, oh, let me get the sub too. Like, let me go in here a little bit. I was like, freaking Andre, Andre,
Oh yeah,
I see you.
representing, yes.
And don't forget, Andy. I didn't forget. I saw those 10 bits. I saw those 10 bits you threw at me. That's why you were in the little text, the Twitter text thing too. I appreciate all y'all for that. All right. So it was a wild freaking ride. It was fun. That was a great show. I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we beat that game. I'm glad I'm happy. All right. Like I said,
Aww.
I just try my best to bring that kind of positivity to have something for you guys to, you
Mhm.
know, if you're having a bad day, maybe I can uplift you. Maybe I can uplift you a little bit. That's like the best I can do. Hopefully, that I can do a positive impact for you guys, and even without all that extra craziness, which I do appreciate, the fact that you guys even just come in every time I do stream, it means a lot to me. So coming in there, interacting with me, talking to me, being bootleg because you already know how I am. I'm telling you, I'm very grateful for all that. So yeah.
Also, happy 200 followers. I know you probably posted a bit a while ago, but congrats. You
Oh
said
yeah,
you were
well,
going to do
thank you,
something.
thank
You
you.
said you might do something special, so keep a lookout for that, everyone.
Yes, yes. As you see in the background, this I try not to reveal this, but we're here right now. But we got nothing in the back. But it is what it is. I'm trying to wait until we get done with this freaking move so I can actually do the things I want to do. Because I might try to do like a 12-hour stream, and I might throw in like a karaoke, like karaoke 12-hour. We're going to just like an extravaganza. We're gonna be doing a lot of different things. Like I have this whole idea. I want to do a giveaway as well because of everything that just happened. I want to be able to give back to you guys because that's just the kind of person I am. And I don't know, when you guys trying to show me love like that, I gotta bring it back. All right.
Well, that sounds
Yeah.
like fun. We'll keep an eye out for that. Also, welcome, Lazy Sage. I think this is the first time you've been in Anime Club. So this is usually different because usually it's on Twitch. But of course, to basically observe hashtag a day off Twitch, that movement that's going on today, we moved it to YouTube. So thanks everyone who came through. This is Anime Club where we pick an anime. We picked it a while ago, but we watch a couple episodes every week, and then also we talk about anime news for anyone who's new. So what's up? But yeah, I didn't really do anything, so I have no updates. But
Hey, you did good on your stream. What you talking about?
oh,
Right?
yeah, I did have a stream yesterday. Yes, and thank you for everyone who came out. Listen, I'm like working on short-term memory, guys. I don't know. Listen, but thank you for everyone who came out to that stream yesterday. That was a lot of fun. I always have fun at the Sleepy Idol, stealing Break's credit card, etc., etc. We're running up a tab, y'all. We're running up a tab.
My money's is starting to get depleted right now. I'm sitting here like, what's going on? I mean, I look. You just gotta ask. You just gotta ask.
It's less fun that way, though. We like to just like steal it out of your pocket. What happens is I steal it out of your pocket during Anime Club, and then the next week I use it at the Sleepy Idol bar. So you have to.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you have to protect your pockets.
I'm using my watch for my payments, because I can just tap things now. I don't usually have my wallet like that. So,
that's cool.
When I check my bank account, yeah, technology.
Yeah,
we in here.
Cool. It works just like Apple Pay or like Google Pay, like how you.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Is that an Apple Watch or?
This is a Samsung Galaxy Watch 2 that I got on right now.
Oh, I didn't even know Samsung got like that. Oh my God, Quetzal on YouTube, squeaky on YouTube. What? Yo, the whole gang's here.
I know, right? What's going on here? What's going on with you, man? The family keeps growing. You right, man. You right.
Well, thank you everyone who came over and kind of worked with the different way we're doing it today. So do you want to jump right into, I don't know, this is going to be your choice, Break. Should we jump right into Nozaki-kun? Or do you have anything you want to talk about? Should we start with what you're watching? It's fun to switch it up every now and then. So, what are you feeling?
We can do a small little like discussion thing right now, right? Right?
Sure.
Bria Sage still trying to scream out, look, this is not the stream for that, right? But I mean, if we're gonna talk about what we're watching, I do want to talk about this because the fact that you brought this up.
Okay.
God. Tokyo Revengers, Ooh. Bro. Everyone here, if y'all have yet to watch that show, I highly recommend it. You can watch the dub too. The dub is really good. These suckers be acting. They acting. There's this guy in there. Like, God, I felt so bad. I was like, why are you making me feel right now?
Oh, the character.
yeah. It's the character. But my God, that show is something else. It kind of reminds me a bit of like Ray Zero in a way because of how it deals with time travel. Mm-hmm. It's the way the premises of how they do the time travel is very interesting. I like the way they're going about it because there's a lot of different things they can go with it, a lot of different routes because things do change, of course, when you mess with time. So it's just very interesting how they have it set up in such a way. I love how this is. The characters are very good. Like the girl, like the dude's girlfriend is actually kind of MVP. Like I don't know why she's so good. She's such a great character actually, and I like that. The fact that I can say that's good to say. Yeah, because half the goddamn time when it comes to like these, anime doesn't usually do a good job when it comes to trying to develop women. Yeah. So it's nice to see how she is and how she tries to hold it down. she holds it down. All right, so
She holds it down. Can you give us a small synopsis what it's about? Because I've been hearing about this show forever. It is in my to watch list, but I actually don't know what it's about at all. Like I see that they're school, maybe gangsters or something like that, maybe delinquents.
yes,
But that's all I really know.
So yeah, there's a bunch of delinquents at this school, and there's a group called the Tokyo Maji Gang. That gang is a gang that's gonna come up in the future, be one of the like top gangs in Japan and everything like that. So we have this kid, basically the main character. I guess I can say that because it's literally the first episode. We find out that the girlfriend ends up dying. Because of that situation that happens, he wants to be able to try to fix it. So that's why he ends up later going back in time to try to fix these type of situations. But things snowball and become something far more than what he has to try to fix. There's more things he wants to try to do than once he sees what's going on and how the Tokyo Magi gang grows and just the happenings in the gang in themselves and how the leader is too. The leader's freaking it's pretty cool actually. So. That's pretty much the most basic synopsis I can give you without spoiling too much.
Okay. Yeah, it's so hard. Like, back when I used to do reviews and stuff like that, that was always the hardest thing. Like, trying to review it, but not too much spoilers, so if somebody wanted to watch it. But, I mean, to be fair, you kind of had me at time travel because I love a good time travel plot. And I think it's interesting how you brought up that, like, there's so many ways you can do time travel. Like I was just thinking of like some of my favorite like time travel-esque shows, or like out of like my favorite, Erased. I think it's interesting because in Erased, the main character goes back in time. He goes like very back in time. And what I thought was cool is that like when he goes back in time, he goes back as the age he would have been at that time. A lot of the times you have like time travel situations where the person goes back as they are currently, and then maybe there's a rule where they can't like come across their current self and stuff like that. So I've always been really, really interested in like time travel plots because I think it's cool how you can like do it differently every single time. But no, that sounds really, really interesting. And I feel like that's like, I'm hearing about Tokyo Revengers a lot. Like it's definitely one of the more popular shows coming out. Seems like people in the chat have been watching it. Have you? Oh, okay. Some people haven't watched it yet. A lot of people,
they heard good things about the show, but no one's really like they haven't watched it like that yet. And you see, I was hesitant too about watching the show because I'm like, I hate when people hype up a show, right? And then I go and watch it because then now I have a certain expectation. Now it's there. I can't help but have it. So I go in there and I'm like, man, show's like freaking mid. Why are we even talking about this? But I mean, they hyped the show. People in my chat were hyping it up. They're telling me, hey, this show's legit. This is like as good as Attack on Titan. I'm sitting here like, whoa, come on, sucker. Yeah. I was like, come on now, y'all. Relax a little bit. Now I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
really good. The show is really good though. It's not. I don't know if it's done yet, but I think it's about to be. The dub is at like episode 14. So me and my brother are currently watching that. But I will say, look. The hype was real, and it didn't disappoint me, and that surprised me because I thought I was gonna go in there and I'm like, man, it's probably gonna be mid, but it's actually pretty good.
Well, that's exciting to know that like one of the like shows that have been hyped up are actually living up to the hype. Definitely gonna check that one out. Okay, God of High School. I was gonna say God of High School and Tower of God. Those were the ones that y'all, I'm gonna say y'all were gassing, and I mean y'all and just like the internet. And it was just like, I was like, where am I? I haven't watched God of High School to be fair, but Tower of God. What did y'all see? What did y'all see that I didn't see? Well, I feel like a lot of people were manga / webtoon watchers, but I was like, those ones are over. Right.
Look, they were just saying like, man, this first season, it's just the prologue. The second season though can be fire. And I'm saying like, I have to watch what 12, 13 episodes before it actually gets good. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a whole season. You have to hook me right now. What makes you think I'm gonna go watch second season all of a sudden? Like what?
There are too many shows out there for those people who are like, dude, just watch 54 episodes and at episode 54, watch this movie and then it will be good. It's like, how much time do you think I have on the planet Earth? Like it's too much. It's
infinite. Okay, you go and watch it. Right?
It's like, I get it. It's your fave. You love this show, but not everyone has the time to invest like 2 seasons before it gets good. Like, that's insane. But yeah, like I feel bad because I'm sure the people who hyped up those 2 shows had good intentions. I'm sure the webtoon or the manhwa, whatever it came from, was great. But God, was Tower of God, I was confused. I was like,
I mean, it's like, I don't know about great. I mean, that's being kind of generous. I don't know. Actually, I try to actually not watch, but read some of Tower of God, and so you know how webtoons are, right? They're made by just any regular old sucker. Like even myself, I can make a webtoon.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So they don't have the kind of like training to know how to structure a story. Tower of God, I mean, look, don't come at me, all right? But like from the drawing, like he's like didn't know how to draw. Okay, he was actually kind of bad a little bit. So we're going. Look, it is what it is. It's the beginning stage.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he got better. He got better. But like the way he structured that story in the beginning, it's cool that there's more information. But some of that stuff could have been condensed. He could have done a bit better actually of like telling the story better. Like there's just a lot of, I feel, unnecessary things that were actually going on, especially in the beginning stages of Tower of God. People be hyping it up, but I don't know. I didn't see what they're talking about here. I didn't see that.
That's interesting because what I tend to, and maybe it's just, you know, sour grapes or whatever, where people are like, everyone's clowning the anime, so everyone's like, well, the manhwa is good, like the webtoon's good, so like who cares? Like maybe, but you're the first person I've heard to say like the web or the comic was mid. So that's kind of a hot take.
I think it's just the Tower of Mid. It's not God. It's a mid show. It's like. It's all it's going. We don't have to climb the whole tower because you're gonna be there. You're like, huh? I'm disappointed. You just go back down. Like,
ooh, shots fired! Listen, Tower of God fans, it wasn't me. It was Break at the Breakmaster. If you're trying to fight someone, listen, I'm trying to have a clean slate in the anime community. I don't want anyone coming for me.
They're already coming after me. They're already coming after me when I talked about Eden Zero and how I didn't like that show either. All right, so I mean, it is what it is.
Wow, the stream just started. We're already throwing shots. Andre says, I said the same thing about One Piece earlier. I love it, but I can't commit. Wait, are we talking about long shows or are we talking about mid shows?
Yeah, wait, what are we saying?
Let me scroll up to make sure.
I need clarification.
Yeah, can you clarify? Andre, I don't want to put you out there.
I need to know.
Did you read the last chapter of Attack on Titan? No, I'm not a manga reader for Attack on Titan. I'm just gonna go. I probably will go back and read the manga after the second part of season 4 comes out. But I'm not reading the manga. Break, you're collecting the manga, but you haven't read the end yet, or have you?
No, okay. No. I'm purposely avoiding it, and I am collecting it, but I'm not going to get the last volume because I don't even want to look at the picture. Like I don't want to know anything. Okay, I'm trying my best to avoid it because I want to experience it in the anime. The anime is what got me into Attack on Titan. You know, the first episode was the most incredible episode like hook that can get you, and I've been a fan ever since. So I want to give it another shot and watch the last thing and see what Mappa can do with it. I know they're good, and I know they can actually make this look magnificent, especially now that they got time. So the fact that they got time, we might get that Jujutsu Kaisen kind of level of animation. So I am definitely looking forward to it. And they already show snippets of how they can like do the 2D versions of Titans. Like it looks clean as heck. So if they're gonna go that route, and because they have time, they can do this. Like I'm looking forward to it. I know it's gonna be good. So I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah. But I do want to go back and read it when it's done. But for now, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick to the manga. Oh, okay. Andre clarified long shows. Yeah, it's sometimes I have to admit sometimes a lot of things that keep me from watching some of these iconic shows that everyone loves so much is the fact that it's just so long. I tried with One Piece, and actually the thing is, I plan on watching One Piece. Maybe not in the near future, but, you know, I'll watch an episode or, you know, maybe read a chapter every now and then. It definitely is just not like at the top of what I'm trying to get done or whatever. But Brick, are you caught up? You're pretty...
Not in the anime, but I'm caught up on the manga.
Okay.
I do read the manga weekly. So, I mean... So the thing is, reading it, you can get through a lot quicker than you can watching it. But I do recommend watching it at times because the soundtrack, the voice acting, even the animation at times can really elevate those scenes because it does. Like, it really makes things more impactful if you're actually watching the show. So it's like the one thing I can say when it comes to trying to like watch One Piece is just enjoy the journey of it. You don't necessarily need to try to like just catch up. I know you try, like, people want it to so they can start talking about it.
Yeah.
But if you try to start skipping arcs and other things of that nature, you're gonna not. How can you really talk about it fully when you don't fully understand it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta need to watch some of these arcs. Like, one of the arcs people keep saying that you need to skip, ironically enough, is the Skypiea arc. That arc was not that great, I will admit. But the problem with skipping that arc is that we're coming to find out that arc was incredibly important.
It lays
There's
foundation.
too much stuff.
Yeah.
There's too many things that are coming back now that you kind of you if you didn't watch that, you wouldn't even catch it. You couldn't even catch it.
Yeah.
It's very important to the story, so you have to kind of actually watch that arc, which is why I don't necessarily agree with skipping the arcs, but at the same time, it's a long show, so I understand that it's very daunting, which is why I'm just like, maybe just try to enjoy it while it's there and take breaks from time to time. Don't just binge watch the entire thing, because I had someone that was following me on Twitch, for instance, right? And they were telling me how they got up to like 700 episodes, because they started from episode 1 and they got all the way over there. And I'm like, God dang, son, how much time do you have? How do you do this?
Yeah.
But then he got burned out.
Yeah. And I this is gonna sound weird, but I always feel kind of guilty when I'm just like, you know, high speed chugging through like either an anime or a manga, because I feel like I'm not taking the time to like appreciate the animation and like what the mangaka, like the drawings and things like that. So I always feel kind of guilty, but I agree, like, it sucks when you're just like, your goal is to just get caught up, so you're really like, you know, speeding through things, and then like some things you might not even remember because you were just going so fast. But yeah, definitely when I think it was earlier last year when I was like, okay, I'm going to try to watch One Piece, and I kind of like, you know, watched a lot of videos on like what's the best way to watch One Piece. And there's a lot of people that you're like, oh, you should watch the movie for this, or like skip this or condense it. And I was just kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I know these are like people who are very into One Piece, so they would be considered like experts, but like, I kind of want to make sure I know everything so I can have like a proper discussion on it. Or if something comes back, you know, later on, I'm not like going back like, you know, hundreds of chapters so I can actually understand what's going on. So I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's definitely how I feel as well, like when it comes to skipping around stuff.
I mean, I will say this, that, I mean, they did do a decent job at actually condensing a lot of the character story arcs, because that's kind of what they did with like Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Zoro, and I think they went up to, I think Frankie, I think. If they didn't, you probably should actually watch the arc in general. That whole arc of Water 7 is amazing, but they condensed quite a bit of their character arc, so that way you don't have to actually watch all of the beginning. You can actually just watch those and get a good gist of all that stuff, because the other arcs are a little more important anyways. Like I said, a lot of those arcs in the beginning were just trying to develop all the characters that are going to be a part of the crew. So, not saying you can skip it, but that stuff actually condensed it enough where you can still get a good grasp of what's actually going on. So there is some things they did do a good job on that front if you're trying to speed through it just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I always feel like, though, like, because like that's like a common thing, condensing like episodes into like movies with like anime, but I always feel like I'm missing out. Like, I always have this FOMO that's like, maybe this was important, or maybe something, you know, but I don't know.
I understand.
Alex R says, hey Alex, welcome to Anime Club. The anime opening song by itself will get you hooked on Attack on Titan. Honestly, that opening's iconic. Like, so good. Break, what's your favorite anime opening or ending?
Ooh.
I put you on the spot.
Interesting. Well, currently right now, if I had to like choose like a favorite ending at the moment, and maybe this is a little biased, okay, and look, I'm sorry, okay, don't judge me. Don't judge me. But it's that Attack on Titan, like the season 4 ending, like it's really good. The latest season, like the ending, I can't remember what the ending name's called. I listen to it a lot though. Like, the ending is it's top tier. Honestly, truth be told, maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. Actually, we'll see what happens here. But when it comes to this latest season, Attack on Titan, they're both their opening and endings are actually they're the best ones.
You think so?
Out of the whole show.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess it would be a hot take. I feel like I was gonna say I think the season 1 was just like super iconic, but it might be just because of the nostalgia and it was the first thing I associated with Attack on Titan. But it wasn't bad. Definitely had some getting used to. But I mean, it was both really interesting songs. Okay, let's see, everyone in the chat. What's your answer for your favorite opening and ending? Andre says the Sailor Moon opening and Every Heart, the Inuyasha ending. 2 iconic, very iconic songs, especially the Sailor Moon one. Inuyasha had like a lot of like just really good songs. Like I feel like that's a Bleach too. Yeah. I think Bleach had some of the best like opening and endings. Iconic. I didn't even finish that anime, but I like know all opening and endings because they're so good.
I mean, they got some really good songs. I always go back to their soundtrack in general. Mm-hmm. Like their soundtrack be bumping. Mm-hmm. I don't know who. Like Kubo just knew what songs. Like I don't know who chose these songs, but exactly. It just fits so well, and they just. I mean, I'm sitting here like, bro, what is this? Like Wico Mundo. The whole like his like Spanish like inspiration going on in there is like just like they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I also like the opening and endings to Eureka 7. I think that's my favorite anime. But that aside, I feel like they have so many iconic ones. Like yes, they don't miss. They don't miss. I
wanna fly so high, go don't stay.
That one's really that one's so good. Woo! All right, I'm about to let me not stand out. Naruto also has really good opening and endings. We are fighting dreamers. Somebody play that at my funeral, y'all. Play it at my funeral. Play a slowed down song like version, an orchestral version. I feel like it would pop.
Wow.
But yeah, a lot of iconic songs. So before we get into Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, I just wanted to say one thing that I'm reading, not watching recently, and I feel like this has been kind of like I'm kind of slow to the punch because people have been talking about this here and there. I think I heard it on another podcast, but I also saw it kind of going around on Reddit. There's this manga called Oshi no Koi. Have you heard about this?
Sounds familiar, actually, but I'm not sure. Not sure.
The person who wrote it, I forget, but they wrote something that was also iconic, but I forget what it was. It's slipping my mind. But it has it's crazy because it has this insane premise, but like it's honestly like really, really good, especially if you're into idol culture or entertainment world culture. So basically, and I hope that this is not too much of a spoiler, because you find this out in the first like couple volumes and then you really get into the meat of the show. But so there's this doctor, right? And he's super obsessed with this like idol girl. He like watches her like performances. She's an idol that's part of an idol group, kind of like a emerging idol group. People know about them. They're not super popular, but herself, like she's really gorgeous. So she's like, people know about her. And so basically one day, like Twitter is like on fire because she announces that she's taking a hiatus from, being famous and promoting. And so he's like, no, this is crazy. What's going on? What's wrong? And then lo and behold, like the next day, a young girl shows up at his like clinic, his doctor's clinic, and it is this idol girl. Her name's Ai. It's this idol that he's been like obsessing over. And so turns out the reason why she took this break is because she got pregnant. And so she doesn't want anyone to know because she feels like it will ruin her image or it will take a hit to her, like her image, her idol image. So what she decides to do is that she's going to come to this clinic. She wants to get help from this doctor and she wants to have her baby in secret. So they found out the baby's actually twins. He kind of works with her trying to keep the baby a secret or whatever. But the night before she has the baby, the doctor gets into some freak accident and he ends up dying, right? So before he can't help her deliver the baby. But lo and behold, instead of just dying and like going to heck or whatever, he's reincarnated as one of these girls' babies. So she has twins.
Wait, what? Wait, saying what? I didn't expect that.
It's literally such a roller coaster. She has twins and he gets reincarnated as a boy twin. And similar to what was that show, Muzakashi, the guy who like is a
Mokusho Tensai, things like that.
Yeah, similar to that, when he's like reincarnated as his newborn, he has all his previous memories. So he's still very much like that adult doctor, but now he's the son of this woman. So it's kind of like, you know, she wants to go back to the entertainment industry, but of course she has to keep the fact that she has these children a secret. So it's kind of like this mix of him trying to help his new mom / his favorite idol, you know, keep him a secret so she continue on with the career, kind of help her with advancing in her career. And then it's kind of like this other mystery where the other twin, who's a female twin, she also is somebody who's reincarnated, but it's like kind of him trying to find out who that person's past life was. But like, it kind of just like, that's an insane premise, but really it's just kind of about learning about like the ins and outs and kind of like the hardships of being like an idol or somebody in the entertainment industry trying to get famous. But it is wild and it's very, very good. There's some stuff where I'm just like, but like, it's very popular. It's very good. I've been reading it over the past couple days. If you like idol stuff.
And you didn't tell me about this sooner?
Sorry, I had to vet it because I was like, this can go really south and weird, like at a moment's notice. So I'm going to tread with caution. But yeah, the plot is really insane for no reason. Like, it's really weird. But yeah.
Yeah, you got me hooked. I kind of want to read it at this point. Shoot. I had to do a stream just reading that manga, man. If that's the case, God.
It's very, very interesting. But yeah, so do you want to guys think it will be good to jump into Monthly Girls now?
I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I mean, you know, a little spoiler for it, you know, when it comes to my opinion on it. I kind of enjoy these 3 episodes, actually. These episodes, yeah. It's a turnaround. There's a turnaround.
Okay, all right. I feel like after you kind of came clean about how you weren't really feeling it last stream, everyone was like, yeah, maybe this is kind of mid. So now it's like a 180. So we'll see what everyone thinks. These are good episodes.
It still has those issues. Look, it still has those issues those there.
That's fair.
But I think the way they focus on, because they kind of hyper focus a lot on Nozaki-kun's like personality these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I do enjoy his character. So I think that's part of the reason why I ended up liking it a bit more than like the other previous episodes when they're still trying to like introduce everybody, you know what I mean? Because there's so many characters they're trying to introduce. So maybe that's part of the reason why. Because now that we actually have everything kind of established for the most part, now they're just being extra bootleg. Like, I don't get it, but god dang, there was some stupid stuff that was going on in these episodes.
That's so true. I definitely agree. I think now it's really, really finding like its footing in a beat now that we have all the mains introduced. But it looks like you might have a lot of notes, so that's good because most of my notes are like summary notes and then maybe like a couple things down there or here and there. So feel free to like interrupt with like points you had and stuff like that at any point. So I'm going to start with episode 7. There's kind of like
I was reading the comments that Brick Redemption arc. Let's go.
This is my favorite arc. Before we start though, I want to say happy York New City Day. I don't even know what you would call it, but today is September 1st. And if you guys watch Hunter x Hunter, yeah, you know there is a big, plot in Hunter x Hunter after the main 4 characters finish their Hunter's exam and they kind of split up. They were all saying that they were going to meet in York New City on September 1st. So now it's like an anime holiday.
Let's get around flops with that thing.
Happy York New City Day. All right. So in episode 7, we start off with the fact that Nozaki-kun, he has a day off. He doesn't have anything manga related he has to do today. But because he doesn't really have any hobbies outside of going to school and doing his manga, he doesn't know what he wants to do with it. So Chio offers for them to kind of hang out that day and like go around and maybe find some fun stuff to do with a kind of like, I don't want to say ulterior motive, but she's like, hey, it's me and Nozaki-kun hanging out by herself. This could kind of count as a date, perhaps.
I didn't get my hopes up at all though. So I'm like, the second bootleg, you do realize that all he thinks about is work Like, sucker, please.
And I feel like this, I agree with you in the fact that we see a lot more of Nozaki-kun, because we do get that feel that he's just like very much a workaholic and very passionate about his work. Because what ends up happening is that even though they go to the mall to relax and have fun, every single activity that they do kind of ends up relating to Nozaki-kun getting some, good references or whatever for his work. Like, for example, they go out to eat, and he uses that chance to take reference pictures of the food. They go watch a movie, and the only reason he wants to watch it is because there's good references of buildings. And then they also go to a clothing store, and he wants to look at the girls' clothing just so he can have references for outfits. So he's very much...
He was trying to put that goddamn sailor outfit on freaking Kyo, like... Oh, that running joke was great.
Oh my god. And they bring it back the next episode. I was like, yes, I love a callback. I love a callback moment.
It's all your way. You need to get a change of clothes. You go, get that kind of with that.
But when they're at this clothing store, they happen to run into Mikoshiba, who's actually buying like anime figurines, and he's kind of embarrassed because they're all like hot babes in bikinis and stuff like that. But instead of kind of like clowning him, Nozaki-kun's like, wait, this could be great to use for like references for characters. So he decides that he wants to get a character like for himself so he can use it as a reference. So at first Chio's kind of like, ooh, this is interesting, because depending on what like female figure he picks, maybe I can get like a clue into what his like type is. But this show, it's always gags, so he ends up picking a male figure because he wants to use it to model Suzuki, his male hero in his manga. So Chio's denied that chance. So at the end of the day, or at the end of this part of the episode, he invites Chio home, and she's like, oh my god, this is the moment or whatever, but it's just so she can help him finish his leftovers.
But see, to me right there, that's a win-win situation. You eat freaking food. Like, it's like a what? And you're at his house? Like, come on. You're still with him.
Exactly. She was upset for what? No, see, Chio, you need to be more grateful. But one thing I wanted to ask literally has nothing to do with anything. But
okay.
This is like a multi-T question. One, do you collect figures? Two, do you this idea of an ideal type, do you think, we're weebs here.
Interesting.
We're weebs here. Do you think the characters you like have anything to do with what you like in real life? Like, do you think you gravitate towards characters because that they like fit your type? Whether it's personality wise or feature wise?
It's kind of funny. I should be thinking about myself because you're asking me this question, but then it just kind of I want to start thinking about you for a minute. I'm like, actually, you keep talking about how you like these like stoic characters, and they kind of like quiet. You kind of like that though. That's the thing. So it's kind of funny, but I mean, I don't think so. I mean, if the figure looks nice, the character. There's certain character traits of like a certain anime character that I don't necessarily like, or like I wouldn't really. I guess I don't really connect the two like that. I don't know. I guess I feel kind of weird. I mean, they are just drawings at the end of the day, or figurines at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't really. I'm not sitting there like, yeah, that's my babe. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can understand like or process how people can see it like that, but I don't know. For me, I separate the two. I guess you know what I mean. I try to, anyways. At least I think so. That's what I'm trying to think, because I did buy some figurines, but then it's just the thing. Like for instance, I have figurines right now. Since that's one of the questions you asked me, I have a lot of freaking Luffy, for instance. So what's that supposed to mean about me?
Well, okay, maybe you have like a type of character, whether it's male, female, or what have you, that you gravitate towards in general. Like, do you find yourself that a lot of the characters that you say are your favorites, like, share a lot of similar traits or backstories, or even like, physical things? Like, I'll admit, I tend to like a lot of characters that have glasses. I don't know why. I like a lot of tsunderes or whatever. I don't know why. I like a lot of soft-spoken male. For some reason, for male characters, I like the when they're like soft-spoken, kind of blunt, or whatever. But for the girl characters, I like Chios that are kind of like spazzes, like little cuties, like those type of characters. I don't know.
I mean, I do like those kind of characters too. That's the thing. Like, I do like how. That's why I like Chio. Actually, that's one of the things I like about her because I like that kind of personality. Again, bootleg is great. So, but see, that's the thing is, I like her, but I also on the other end where she's nothing like this is freaking Mikasa. I like Mikasa too, but maybe that's more on the aesthetic side of things because I mean.
She ripped.
You know,
she's getting ripped tonight. Okay.
she's a physically fit woman. So I don't know. It's a good question actually because now I have to kind of dissect myself here and really think. Like, am I getting figurines specifically for these type of things, or do I gravitate to shows that have these specific things to it because that's what I secretly want out of somebody or something? Like, I'm now wondering. This is a much deeper question than I anticipated.
I thought it was also interesting because there was a moment like that in Wotakoi. It was more physical based, but I remember Hirotaka had some figurines, and Narumi, she was like, "Oh, I see you like the big chested girls. All right." Noted. Like, she's flat chested. But yeah, so I was like, oh, that's another, you know, people using like sussing out figurines and being like, oh, that might be your ideal type.
It's you know, we'll move on. You know, I don't want to get exposed right now.
Break's like, wait a second, I'm breaking up. You have to call me back.
I have to look back at my figures. Like, actually, there is a trend on that when it comes to those. I guess, but we're not. Look. Can you blame a brother? Can you blame a brother?
Yes. No, just kidding. I'm gonna jump in the chat real quick. Leanne says, I feel like I gravitate towards fictional characters that I relate or connect to. So physical appearance has nothing to do with their personality. So like if somebody maybe was going through something similar to you, like maybe they're a college student, you're a college student, or maybe they have a lot of brothers and sisters, you have a lot of brothers and sisters, that kind of thing. Because I can definitely see that too.
Because like I said, it's like how the characters are, like, you know, what they are and how like kind of relatabilities are. Like if you can relate to them, then you're definitely gonna like attach yourself to that then too. So that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a much deeper question because it's like that's not always like a cutthroat thing where he's like, I want this. It has to be this. This is my ideal. There's no other way. You can't look a certain way. Otherwise, I don't want to mess with you. Like, oh. We out here open, all right?
Andy says there's a little bit of connection, I think. Then again, I'm such a simp for any character with red hair or tsunderes. Oh, okay. I don't know if I ever had like a color hair type, but yeah, like those character arcs like tsundere, yandere, kudere and stuff like that. I definitely think there's like, you know, I feel like the reason why there's such like the cliches is because they know that they pull certain people in. So I definitely see that.
Yeah.
Andre says, I don't buy those types of figures, but I'm more into a character that I can relate to personality wise. I've got a lot of Power Rangers figures and pop figures just of characters I like. Okay, so it's more of a personality thing. I can definitely see that too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mixture of like a lot of different things, all right? You know, sometimes you want to have the other figures though, because you know they're very high quality, all right? Like they be going in sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I'm not spending that much money though. Like the figurines, like. Because I don't have any of those. Okay, I just want to disclaimer. I don't have like those H figures, you know, that they get like you can dress them like those things. No, I don't got none of those. Okay, look,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
oh, yeah, it's a whole thing. But those figurines, they cost like at least $150 and up.
Okay, yeah, that's probably why I didn't know.
Because I'm not. Yeah, they are expensive. They are very expensive. But I mean, the quality of work that's there. If you see, the thing is, I do like art, right? So I like to see the quality of work of things that are there, and I can see the quality of work. But at the same time, like, come on now, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. All right. And don't give those eyes. Get those eyes out of here.
Speaking of Andy says, thing is, you can have lots of preferences that are found in different characters. So one character might seem completely different from the others, but both have one trait or personality you like. Oh, that's true too.
True.
That's true. You like mix and match. Yeah, but I just thought that was interesting that she like brought it up, like that she was so interested in. So was I'm gonna go to the next, I guess, part A, the B story of episode 7. It was pretty short. Essentially, Mikurin, he models for the art club, which is the club that Chio's in. And then we have like really a lot of funny gags, like even just off the bat, when Chio asks him to model, he's like, no, get out of here. But then when another girl asks, he goes into his like very stereotypical player boy type mode, and he ends up accepting, even though he doesn't want to do it. But eventually he does go, and we get a lot of funny bits here and there, including when the girls of the art club were requesting like super specific poses from him, and then you get Chio requesting him to do this basic pose because it reminds her of Nozaki. You know what? She is very consistent with standing for her man, so I'll give her that much.
Yes. Yeah, like I can't knock her efforts that's always there. Okay, like I can respect that.
You have some scenes of Mikurin being like a diva, kind of bossing Chio around. You have eventually Nozaki-kun, he's trying to get a hold of Mikoshiba, and so he ends up, coming into the art club, and Mikoshiba thinks he's gonna save him, but he ends up just being like, oh, take your time, ladies, and I'll do this too.
No, he made things worse. He said, "Nah, I'm about to take control of this whole thing." It's like the dude wasn't even doing figure like art. He was just like, "Nah, we're gonna make a whole scene." He's out here like writing like a whole manuscript, like ready for a manga. I was like, what are you doing, sir? Like, please. He lined up everybody and started posing everyone in the class.
That was really funny. I was like, what is going on? But it's really, really funny because I just love how it's like, they like hammered in like, this is the like, defining or very, very like blaring personality trait of like everyone. Like, I feel like that's what they kind of showed us like the first couple episodes, and now they're just playing on it and making like a lot of funny gags. Like, you have every time Chio like strangely spazzes about like the basic stuff that Nozaki-kun does, because her whole thing is like she really likes this guy. Nozaki-kun, everything's about work, so like he'll like inconvenience his friends or like do stuff silly just because he's like obsessed with getting references or content for his manga. And then you have like the running gag with Mikurin. So it's just really, really funny how like they were able to establish that, and now like I feel like they just focus on making gags around that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what made me actually like the show a bit more, because now that we have them established, we can actually heighten certain elements of their personality and just make a whole episode out of it, because it's pretty funny to see. And how you doing, Avanshi? I was actually talking about you. This is the one.
Hi, Avanshi.
Side note, we can jump into a small topic that I actually wanted to talk about, because it goes into this episode here. Which is interesting because you had a topic just based off this episode, and now I have one myself, is the fact that, again, Nozaki-kun, all he thinks about is work. And the question, I guess, becomes like, can he actually ever like differentiate himself from like does he actually enjoy things? Because even on a day off, all he ever thinks about is that. And it's just going based off like even your own personal stuff yourself, like, do you have that same type of mind like Nozaki, or are you always constantly thinking about work, or are you able to actually have that time off? Are you able to actually, allow yourself a break? Because from Nozaki's side, it seems like he's just not able to do it. So that's a question for everybody else here. It's like, are you the Nozaki type where you just, no matter what you're doing, you're always constantly thinking about it, like about work or wherever the case is, or what you got?
I think that's a great question. So I think because my day job is so specific, I can get away with like, I'll think about doing it, but I can't really like do stuff I like when I'm outside of work that like contribute to work, but I do think about it a lot, which is kind of not the greatest thing. Sometimes it stresses me out. But I think when I get one hobby, it tends to consume my life. And I think the last time I had a situation like that was when I was like really hard into cosplay, like early, 2019 to going into 2020 before the pandemic. everything I would do would just be like, ooh, this is great fabric for cosplay. I should cosplay that. What if I did a cosplay of that? What if I mashed those cosplays together? So I kind of felt like Nozaki-kun in that sense, because like constantly I was thinking, what's the next thing I can cosplay? Where can I get more cosplay supplies? Like blah, like where can I meet cosplay friends when I like kind of do get that, like, I think it's interesting because it's never was like a like actual job for me. Like it was like never like, oh, I'm trying to get famous or anything like that. So luckily it never like was too much stressful. It was always from a fun side. But I think even with Nozaki-kun, I think it does stress him out, but I also think it's something he loves. So it's just like kind of like, you know, he's not good at balancing that. Like he needs to get other hobbies. But I don't know. I think it's more of a positive thing for him, maybe.
I mean, maybe, because I mean, again, if it's your hobby, right, and you made that hobby into a job, are you truly working then at that point, right? Because it's something that you just really enjoy to do, right? That's the kind of like the dream thing that you want to do, is find whatever hobby it is that you like and make that your life, basically your job. Then you don't have to feel like you're actually working, but at the same time, you're still working, and you can still burn yourself out. It could still happen in that sense. So you always got to make sure you take that time to you know, to deload, to relax yourself. I mean, for myself, when it comes to my work, yeah, I do think about it quite often at times. I ain't gonna lie. And sometimes, you know, my friends might be bringing it up, and then I'm now thinking about it again. But I do try to like leave that alone. I'm not always, you know, thinking about that goddamn job like that, because there's other things like, you know, I enjoy like streaming and drawing and just other things, like, or indulging in wrestling and talking about that. And like there's things that I like to just do, like especially on my Fridays, even though I'm at work and everything. When I get off work, I just deload and I can relax and just start enjoying just like smaller things that I like to do. So, you know, it's always that thing. You got to find that balance, because there's a lot of like content creators, for instance, right? Especially like TikTokers, for instance. They just be out here like, I can make a video off of that. You just hang out with friends. We can make a video together. Like, you know what I mean? They don't just sit there and actually enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? They don't just sit there, put the phone down. Just be there in the moment. Don't just, I gotta make something out of this. We gonna be viral.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I mean, do all that, right? Like,
I feel like definitely that's how I felt when like I first started my K-pop channel, because it was like I started the channel because like I spent a lot of time reading about K-pop and news in general, but then it became every time I watched a music video, every time I watched blah blah, I was like, should I be making a video about this? Could I make a video about this? Should I be making a video about this? And it's like I could not just like sit there and enjoy the thing for what it was. It was like, okay, what is the next video that has to do with this thing that I'm watching?
That's true, actually. You know what? You have exactly that was the same thing when I was doing, like, when I was heavy in the review thing. I got to a point where I couldn't watch anything where I'm like, well, like making mental notes, like, okay, I could talk about this. I can make a video about this. Like, that's why like I can't even watch things in the same manner like how other people do nowadays, because that's still kind of there. So I still have a tendency of trying to like dissect some stuff at times when I'm looking at it. But I try to not let that be the thing here, because when you do that for so long, your mind sees things differently than how other people probably would actually perceive what they're watching themselves. So yeah, I try not to lose myself in the sauce.
I'm gonna jump into chat real quick. Andy says Nozaki's just built differently. LOL, but seriously, it just seems that he enjoys his work even though it stresses him out at times. Leanne says, I do think I struggle with having a good balance between work and play, much to the dismay of stress levels. Like I tend to go too hard in either direction. Yeah, and I think it's like one of those things where if you work a lot, you're like, okay, now I deserve to play a lot, but then you might overdo the playing, so you're like, okay, now I need to make it up by working a lot, and then it's just kind of like, so yeah, that back and forth can get really tricky, very tricky to balance. Andre says, I think I found a good balance between work and play since all my jobs are part-time and I can pick and choose my schedule. I'm thinking about getting into cosplay though. Ooh, jump on the cosplay train. Ugh.
Let's go.
Yeah, cosplay is so fun.
We support that. We support that.
But yeah, and I think jobs in general where it's like, so much of it is you have to be in a certain environment, and I feel like that happens a lot with part-time jobs. Like maybe if it's like at retail, like you can't really check people out if you're not at the store, or like if it's like in fast food, or like at an office or something like that, where you have to like, you know, maybe like mess with certain data or something. Like it's like you can't do it at home, so it's kind of hard or whatever. But yeah, it's good though when you can balance it. Like I feel like a lot of things fall into place when you can keep work at work, because then it just
Yes.
doesn't slip into your other parts of your life. Andy says, yeah, sometimes there are so many things I want to do, but my responsibilities always slap me in the face. Plus, it doesn't help that I procrastinate as much as I do. LOL. Okay, raise your hand if you're a part of the procrastination club. Listen, that...
I'll put both my hands up. I'm waving like I don't care.
Honestly. But honestly though, maybe this is just me being a messy procrastinator. Sometimes it takes it being down to the wire for me to show my best work. Like, because it's just like, all right, crunch time, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know. What do you think? Are you like a guilty procrastinator, or you're like, well, this is when I do my best work?
Am I like both? Because like I feel guilty for doing it, but it happens all the goddamn time. Like I feel like that's what's about to happen with this move, for instance, right? We are here last minute. Look, I'm still using all my stream stuff right now. See this? You don't see it packed. What are you about to see?
Oh, Andy says me with my art homework. Oh my god, homework was like,
oh no,
oh gosh, homework's the worst.
Why do we even have homework? Like,
exactly.
get out of here.
Homework is.
I was already there for 7 hours. Like, I don't doing my work,
right? It's like we couldn't fit it into the lesson. Then maybe I shouldn't be learning it. Thank you very much. But yeah, yeah, it's kind of hard to find that balance. But you know, it's weird with Nozaki-kun because it definitely feels like it's something he enjoys. But you can like we've had situations where we've seen him been super stressed out.
And it's like also he can't seem to understand, I guess, people's feelings in that sense too, because like he doesn't like, I don't know, it's weird because like I said, like with the whole thing with her or Kyo, it's like she could be making an advance, for instance, right? I don't even think he would see it. Mm-hmm. I think he would think, oh, this would be a good reference, more so than, oh, he's trying to come on to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'd be stuff like that. And it's like, how far does it go with him? That's the thing. That's what's concerning me about him, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm just like, oh, poor Chio. I feel like it's hopeless because I feel like even if he somehow, you know, by the grace of God, like understood that she was hitting on him, I think she'd be like, well, I think he would very much be like, well, if I have a girlfriend, how is that gonna, you know, affect my manga work? You know, I definitely feel like he's one to say that.
Man, see, that sounds kind of nice though. See, like how. See that dynamic that would happen there if the show actually went that way?
Right? It would never, though.
It wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
They're like, but what about funny time when Chio gets rejected? Like, you know, she can't say, like, they're just like, what about this gag? We can't do that gag anymore. They're more gaggy. But yeah. And then I had one more note that I thought it was funny that when Mikurin was in his like F-boy suave phase, he offered that next time he'll come back, he can do it on the nude. And then Ozaki's like, call me when you're doing the nude day. Bye. Like, what?
I saw that. I was like, Nozaki, really? What, bro?
He said, "I'm here for references. I don't care I don't care about anything else. I want the references. Thank you."
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that was episode 7. Break. Did you have anything else that stood out to you about that episode?
No, I think that's everything. But I thoroughly enjoyed the episode a lot. I think that's my favorite one out of the show so far.
I'm glad. I'm glad. This was quite a funny episode. I saw somebody saying Mikurin was like a funny character. I think he's one of the funniest. Him and
Nozaki looking kind of nice though.
Yeah, he's very funny too. They're like all very funny. Like they're all. I think Hori is very funny too. They're just all very funny, and they're like all.
Wakashima though, like
yeah,
so bad.
They're oh my god, they're all so funny. All right, so jumping into episode 8. So in episode 8, it's a very Kashima Hori episode, which I was excited about. One of my favorite ships, couples, whatever you'd call it. And I actually did like this because what I liked about this couple is that like Kashima, she's pretty like, I like Hori. Like I feel like she's pretty much open about it, and I'm like, thank you. But she actually goes for it. Like I think Chio, she's very very open, but it's more like giggling anytime like Nozaki-kun does something in the corner. But like Kashima's like, yeah, I like this guy, and I care whether he likes me or not, and like I'm gonna do what I think I need to do to get him to like me. So that's what I really like about this couple, because I also think it's clear that Hori, even if he's not like trying to like actually act on it, I think it's very clear he likes Kashima too. But
yeah, there is that connection there. It's just the problem is this show right here. You should call it freaking monthly girls of all of misunderstandings, because there's so much misunderstandings going on with freaking Kashima and Hori. Like, they don't know. She's reading the room all wrong. I don't know how the heck she went that route, and she went hard on that route too. Like,
oh my god, this episode was such a hoot. So in this episode, Kashima, she's concerned because she feels like Hori has been different with her lately. So she's talking to Mikurin about it, and somehow this clown like convinces her. He's like, oh, that's because he's like not into you at all, so you need to step your game up if you like want him. So coincidentally, Hori had been having a conversation with like the Nozaki crew manga team crew, and they were finishing up some stuff, and he mentions how he always keeps a copy of Nozaki-kun's, or one of the volumes of Nozaki-kun's manga, in his bag for references when he does backgrounds, right? And so there's a scene we have where Kashima is trying to once again run away from class, and so Hori like tries to stop her, and in the midst of doing that, he throws his whole entire book bag at her, so it hits her in the head. And one of the things that falls out is the copy of this volume of manga, and she's kind of like, what's this? Like, is he into this stuff? But you know, she knows that he's trying to chase her down, so she real quick grabs the manga and makes her run for it. So later she's in class and she's kind of reading through the book, and she's just like not really understanding like why Hori would have an interest in this thing. She's trying to like understand, is this like what he wants? Is this what he fantasizes about? Like, you know, should she be more like the girl? Should she be more like the guy? And then once again, Mikurin comes up and is like, oh, you know, you read that too? And she's like, yeah, what is this? And he kind of explains like the plot of it. And so she's trying to, again, figure out like, okay, Hori likes this. So the main character guy, he's like athletic, cool, tall, but like, does he like that guy? Because I'm exactly like that guy and he doesn't like me. So they basically come to the conclusion that Hori wants to be treated like the female heroine in the book. That's like, Kashima should treat her. I was like trying to rewind. I was like, where was this? What?
Like I said, this misunderstanding. Like, it's just like, she kept, there was like different scenarios that kept coming up at that point where she was thinking and looking at it and seeing like, wait a minute, he actually wants to be the princess. I'm the prince. Oh, like that's like her mind started thinking and started opening up to her, and then she's like, all right, if that's the case, we gotta get this man a freaking skirt. What you like skirts, right? Yeah. Get you out like a blouse. Like, we need to just dress you up, right? This is what you want.
Exactly. Like, not once does she just ask him. She's like, no, I got this. Like, let me just, you know, I know what he wants. Let me just like
with their chest out and everything. She's like, I got you. Don't worry.
Like, she's so strong and wrong that I'm just like, well, like maybe she's onto something, because she's just so confident with this that I'm just like,
wait, are you believing this?
Yeah, I don't know, because it's just, she just seems so enthusiastic. I'm like, maybe there's, and the thing is, like, even though Hori, he mentions, because he's like, okay, you know, like he's like you said, Kashima like leaves a dress and a skirt and like a blouse and like you know, some cute flats in his locker. She suggests that he plays the princess role in the upcoming play, and then he's like, yeah, it's like she's making fun of me or like harassing me. Like, this is so weird. But then he's like, but she does have good taste in outfits, because that outfit did go well. And it's like, y'all belong together because y'all don't understand each other at all, but yet here you go. Like, I was just so confused. That's why I like them so much. They're so cute.
I mean, if you're going based off like couples or something, I won't lie, I do like them too. Actually, they have this weird dynamic that works really well, and they know that they like each other. Well, they like each other, but they don't know that's what's going on. Like they haven't conveyed that to each other yet. Like, that needs to happen.
Yeah,
it needs to happen.
I need to see
but
that.
See, I'm scared again.
That's not gonna happen.
I can't invest. I can't invest in it because I know that we're not gonna get that. They're not gonna give us that. They're just gonna keep teasing us.
That's
and I don't
true.
like being teased like that. All right.
I do think though, with Hori and Kashima, we do get like really cute moments, even though I don't think we'll ever get like a full like satiated I like you, you like me, let's date. I feel like we'll still get those like kind of heartfelt moments, because we kind of had one, you know. There's this whole like arc, this whole episode, I think, kind of ends off with you know, Kashima sees Hori with the book, and Hori's like pointing out a certain part where the heroine, the male character, the male protagonist, is carrying the female protagonist's bridal style. And so she's like, oh, that's what he wants. He wants to be held like that, right? So there's this hilarious scene where like Hori had stayed up all night doing backgrounds with Nozaki-kun and Chiyo and them. So like they're at play practice. He's really tired. He sees like Kashima. It's kind of like a running gag. He sees Kashima in a box, but there's like this running gag. But he kicks it and then he like gets passed out. So he needs to be taken to the nurse's office. And so like she's gonna I think what happened is she was gonna carry him bridal style, but then all the guys were like, don't. And so she ends up carrying him like a horse. She puts on this horse mask and like kind of like rides him to the nurse. Not rides him, no. She lets him ride her.
Pause.
Wait. Yo.
You want to reword that? You want to reword that?
I'm trying my best out here. I'm fighting for my life. Okay, she puts him on her back, and then she acts like a horse and like gallops him a bit, essentially piggybacks him really to the nurse's office. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, thank you for doing this. Who are you? And she takes it off, and it's her. And like instead of getting like offended right away, he's kind of like, oh. Ding, 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 ding. Like
he didn't get offended at all. He was actually like in awe.
Yeah,
he sat there and he saw her like in a different light all of a sudden. I was like, "What? You like horses?
Yeah.
What?"
He low-key was standing, and I was like, okay. And then even at the very end, he tells Nozaki-kun that he'll do his manga backgrounds for free for the rest of his life if the next school play he writes features a prince that turns into a bull. Kind of mimicking what happened with Kashima. So he's like completely smitten, like even though she's a clown. Like,
so does this confirm that Hori's into
No.
I gotta ask. I gotta ask.
Listen, I think he's into whatever Kashima does because he already really likes Kashima. I think that's so. Bulls aside, I feel like he would have been. What is this couple? Like, they're so weird. Oh god,
they're great though. They're
really great. Honestly, best couple. As Archer would say, phrasing. I forgot about the bull mask scene, so it really got it was so weird. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh god.
Like I said, I enjoyed this episode as well. They did it, they turned around for me. I like Kashima, so I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. The show, like these 3 episodes really got me, and I'm just like, okay, see, now I'm in a better mood or something. Maybe I was just in a bad mood last week or something. I don't know. Yeah, but this was nice. This was definitely nice.
Yeah, it was so funny. I love those two together. Just a couple more things that I thought were quite funny. We did have like a short, I won't even call it a B story, but kind of a side that split up, the 2 main parts of the whole Kashima Hori narrative, where Hori and Chiyo kind of help Nozaki-kun learn how to do backgrounds or get better at backgrounds, because that's one of the things he's sorely, sucks at. Hori does his backgrounds. And I just thought something was really funny. It was just like, every time they want to prove they're bad at drawing backgrounds, they draw that same ass house. Like
every time.
Like, what? And they all draw the same bad house, and I'm like, why do they all look exactly the same?
Like, I mean, that's actually pretty impressive, the fact that they all can draw the same house. Actually, maybe you should put them there. The background might be kind of bootleg looking, but I mean, it's consistent.
Like, why are they identical? But I thought that was really, really funny. And then there's like this kind of gag, this scene where Hori specifically was trying to help him with drawing backgrounds, but Nozaki was kind of bad at like the angles. Like Suzuki would just be like,
it's
in a
the
bush.
Perspective.
Yeah, the perspective. And so to try to level it out, he would just make them stand on boxes, so it made sense.
Oh yes. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. Because Hori was tripping. He got so triggered by seeing anybody on a box at that point after he kept seeing freaking I can keep making boxes for these characters. It's like, what are you doing?
Oh god. And it was really, really funny though, because like his struggle with perspective just reminded me back when I used to be really, really into like, you know, learning to draw manga and characters. I sucked at hands, and I feel like this was like a universal thing where you would make the characters put their hands behind their back because you just weren't. Yeah. You just weren't having it. You weren't trying to draw digits that day. So I thought that was quite funny. But yeah. And then we had...
I can relate wholeheartedly on Nozaki-kun when it comes to his whole background perspective thing. So I still mess with that a little bit myself. It's like it can be difficult. It can be difficult. I don't draw boxes, but it can be difficult.
Yeah, I was like, I imagine like people who do art, who draw, they probably were like, you know, on the same, like they're like, dang, Nozaki-kun, me too, because that just seems like something that would take a while to kind of perfect. So that was definitely funny. And then last but not least, I wanted to point out that there's a scene, another Chio thirst scene. She found out that a lot of the times when Hori is taking a long time to wrap out the backgrounds for the manga, sometimes he spends the night at Nozaki-kun's house. Oh. So she started expressing interest to learn how to do backgrounds for Hori, or like Hori, from Hori, so she could spend the night at Nozaki-kun's house, which I'm just like, girl.
Wants to take a nap on the lap. What you mean?
Yeah, she was like... she's so obsessed. She's so thirsty. It's so funny.
The thing is, would she even take that offer though?
Exactly. She would be like, Nozaki-kun, like, girl, you know you can't handle it. Right? You know you can't handle it. Oh my god, not the houses in chat. Like, it's the one house, like the one kindergarten house. Like, can y'all expand maybe 2 kindergarten houses? Come on.
Actually, as I look at those houses, they're two different houses though.
Oh, wow.
That's not accurate.
One
has a tree in the back.
Even y'all were able to switch it up with the emojis in chat, and yet they draw the same house. Make it make sense. Like, what? But yeah, so that was pretty much episode 8. Very funny. I love Hori and Kashima as a couple. So, was there anything else that you wanted to point out about that episode break?
No, I think we got it. I think we did good there. Because you actually brought up the perspective thing, and I kind of want to talk about that just slightly. Because, like I said, I relate hard on that one. Because doing 2-point, 3-point, even 4-point perspectives, like it gets to be a lot, and it's hard to try to like get it all together. You know, I understand wholeheartedly why he doesn't draw backgrounds, and that's part of the reason why there are certain artists actually. Going back to Bleach, for instance, a great example of this. Sucker don't be drawing backgrounds. Kaite Kubo don't draw backgrounds. His latest manga when he came back with Bleach, he drew backgrounds because he had time and stuff like that. But on a weekly basis, when he was like still doing it weekly, that was like a running gag the whole way. He never drew backgrounds unless he needed to show like the scenery where they're at. But once he shows it, nothing but white in the background. So
that's actually funny because I remember Nozaki-kun mentioned that's how he kind of was able to skate through not having to draw backgrounds. He would just draw like the ambience and effects. That's hilarious. But yeah.
So it actually is true that like what Nozaki-kun's doing is actually possible. Kaite Kubo did it.
It's so cool when they have like real stuff in there about manga. It's so interesting to like see in like an anime format. All right. Moving on to episode 9. I thought this episode was quite funny, specifically because this whole gag / scene they have with the rain. So the show opens with Chio, you know, school's done, she's about to leave, but it's raining, she doesn't have an umbrella. So Nozaki-kun comes up to her and she's kind of talking about how, oh, silly me, I didn't bring an umbrella. And so normally, and this is one of the things that I think is so funny about this show. Like, they'll take like a romantic cliche scene and then they'll just flip it on its head and turn it into a silly gag. So normally in a scene like this, when the girl forgot her umbrella, it's raining, you know, the guy romantically comes up, pops his umbrella up and he's like, you can be under here. But, you know, he's like, girl, I don't have an umbrella too. So that makes 2 of us. We're both clowns. But so for this first part of the episode, though, what I think is really, really funny is that once again, you have work Nozaki-kun, the mangaka Nozaki-kun, immediately, you know, shifts into gear and they start kind of playing with scenarios as to what like kind of romantic as things could happen if you found like 2 manga characters, romantic interested in manga characters in a situation like that. Like, what would be the most romantic or best way to kind of play out like the very, very stereotypical cliche scenario of getting caught in the rain without an umbrella? So we see a couple things. Nozaki, being kind of like the clown he is, he kind of comes up with the idea that he can use his jacket, but he has to also protect his book bag, so he kind of looks like somewhat of like a monster with his jacket over his head. And then he even offers for Chio to get under him, so they look kind of like a kid in trench coats a la the Rascals.
Yeah. Come on, get under here, girl.
Like, imagine your crush is just like, come in. Like, what? Please. And I
mean, I thought it was gonna work. I thought it was gonna work for a minute there. I mean, it looked pretty foolproof.
I was like, it's lame, but hey, maybe. But immediately they come back and they realize they're drenched, and that was just like a no-go. We also get a small cameo from Seo, because she comes up, she kind of throws Chio her umbrella and says, you need it more than me, and she just starts running and like cackling too, and I'm like, what is wrong with this girl?
And look, she's so fast, she's so athletic that the rain can't even touch her. That's
queen things only for Seo. Yeah. But that was quite funny. So then we kind of move on, with Seo's umbrella. They kind of are able to progress, and then we have another super iconic romantic scene where the guy will walk on the outside of the sidewalk. That way, if a car comes past and runs into some water and water sprays, the girl is protected. It doesn't go as planned because there's a big splash and Nozaki-kun's not able to protect her at all. I will say, that one is a good one. I think that's very cute. Like, I'll say that's like a very cute walking.
It was actually something that was kind of thoughtful for once. I was like, I mean, is this just for Manga?
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I like that.
Are there feelings there? But I thought that was.
But then at the same time, he said, he's like, well, I wasn't strong enough to be able to block all that. Right?
Exactly. He was like, I did my best. Quite frankly. But it's quite funny because it's like, again, like you said, like, was this because you were feeling her? Was it blah blah? But then it immediately.
But at the same time, see, we say this right. Mm-hmm. We say this right, but at the same time, right before that, he had that umbrella, and it was more or less covering him, but not her.
Oh yeah,
with water just smacking her on the goddamn face, like.
It honestly, because they're just like, if we can get in a gag, we will put in a gag. Like, we're here for gags, and they're like, we don't care about your like romantic development. We just want to make jokes. So I feel like that's always like the prime. So we'll never really know. So I actually know I'll lean more towards he was just trying to get like ammo for his manga, but. Then it turns into a gag, which is quite funny. But then we get a scene where Nozaki, they have to walk to Nozaki-kun's house first. So, he kind of apologizes to Chio. He's like, sorry that we have to go to my house first. And then she's like, oh, in her head, she's like, oh, I don't mind, actually I hoped, we would never get to your house because then we could walk together. And then to her surprise, Nozaki-kun's also like, I wish we could never get to my house. And she's like, oh, because you love me, like in her head. And he's like, because I don't know if I forgot to take my laundry out, and it's gonna be.
See, that scene almost got me too, because they did like a long pause. So I was sitting like, wait, are we actually gonna finally have some like development? Something's about to actually happen?
No, sir.
Of course.
No,
of
sir.
Course.
Another moment where they're like, none for you. We're never gonna corroborate this romance. So they end up going to Nozaki-kun's house, and I thought it was really funny because, of course, Chio's clothes were wet, and she's like, he's like, take off your clothes, you can change them. And of course, once again, he brings out the sailor uniform for episode 7, so we get like a funny callback to that. And so that was the first.
My question is, why did she just go ahead and put it on? Just put it on,
because it's embarrassing. I'm never gonna do that again. I'm sorry. You guys had to say.
Oh, that was adorable. That was adorable.
But no, I know. I would rather. I don't know, because I don't know. She's just really shy. I think she's just as fast. But I thought that was
incredibly
really
shy.
Cute. So that was like part A, so I'm gonna jump into part B. And I will admit that I was kind of all over the place with this notes, but essentially we get to see more of Miyako, who we met earlier in the show. She is a college mangaka, and she's also Nozaki's neighbor. So we kind of like first kind of see what her life is like and how people kind of perceive in her college the fact that she's a mangaka. You know, there's this kind of joke that some of her college peers think that she has like a boyfriend, like when she's writing scenarios and things like that for a manga. But the kind of meat and the bones we get is that Chiyo and Nozaki-kun go visit her, and they kind of help her with trying to stand up to, you know, the editor Mino that we also met earlier in the series. He was formerly Nozaki-kun's editor, and he's a clown because he makes all these foolish suggestions and he's just a fool. So, you know, she's been struggling. Miyako has been struggling a bit because he's been just like saying stupid stuff and asking stupid requests.
I want a Tanuki in every single scene. Like, no matter what you're doing. Tanuki there. For what? Add a Tanuki to the woman too. We need a female Tanuki. I was like, why do you like Tanuki so much? How does it? I would fight that guy. This is why I see. I mean, Nozaki did the right thing in getting away from him because, like, what is his suggestions? Like, what is he thinking?
Yeah. Although I will say, when the Tanuki were like mimicking that of the main characters, and they were like going through the same trauma that I was like, that's kind of, even though it's unnecessary, that's kind of funny. Like when the two main characters bumped heads, so the Tanukis, and I'm like, is that like your soul? Like, what? Why are you guys doing the same things?
I mean, low key, honestly, I mean, I probably enjoy that manga. It sounds like it'd be a funny manga to read, honestly. See what the Tanukis are doing. Like, who cares about the main characters? The Tanukis, though. Okay.
But it was so ridiculous. So we kind of just go through a bunch of different scenarios with Chiyo and Nozaki-kun trying to help her to kind of convey the message that Mino's ideas were bad, or maybe get him removed. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, it's just kind of like she's gonna have to deal with it. And then we get this other scene where Nozaki-kun kind of goes to his own editor, and they kind of think of ways to spice up his manga, because with all the Tanuki stuff he saw in Miyako's manga, he was like, maybe I need to spice up mine. But pretty much Ken shoots down most of the ideas anyway, because I
mean, it's like I said, the dude would need to become from, like, he's like from outer space, he's an alien or something like that. Like, he was literally going out of this world for these ideas.
Just for a little bit of spice. Yeah. So that was basically that episode. I didn't have much. I just thought the whole Tanuki scene was quite funny because it's just so ridiculous. I don't know, Brig, is there anything that particularly stood out to you in this episode?
I mean, it was interesting to see we got more development for what's her name, Miyuki? Right?
I just saw it. Miyako.
Yes. So it's nice to see more development for her and seeing how she's going through the struggles and through the pains that Nozaki's going through. And it's nice to see Nozaki actually try to help somebody out, because he was like, you know what? Yeah, you gotta see if you can like get him mad, right? Like draw him in a Tanuki suit. How he's gonna like that? And he freaking loved it though. But you know, you gotta keep trying. You know what I mean? So
backfired.
Yeah, he actually said, I want that as a character at this point. So, I mean, I like that we got more development on her end. And I'm curious if they're actually going to show any kind of like resolution with this whole thing. Like, is she just going to accept all this, or is she actually going to start putting her actual foot down? Because even when she did try to put her foot down, she just ended up freaking apologizing because the dude said, actually, well, you should have did these notes a little bit clearer. So therefore, you're the one in the wrong. So you got to apologize to me. And I'm just like,
yeah. That kills me. I hate when, like, you know, you finally get the courage to like call somebody out, and then like they flip it on you, and you're like, oh, sorry, I guess. Yeah, that really killed me, because I was like, dang, she was so close. Yeah, but I
feel bad for her.
Yeah, I really hope, even if it's not in the show and maybe the manga, we get like a proper resolution with her, I don't know, punching him in the nose or something like that to kind of remedy how he ruined her manga. But yeah.
Yeah. Definitely agree on that.
But yeah, so that was episode 9, and with that, we have wrapped up our episode recap for Girls Monthly Nozaki-kun, which means that we're at the end, guys. Next week, we'll be talking about episodes 10 through 12, which I'm excited to see how they wrap up the season. I know it won't be like they'll fall in love or anything like that. Like, I know they're going to keep us on a string, but
super low expectations.
Yeah. But I'm still excited to see how it wraps up. But that also means that next week, during next week's anime club, we'll also be voting on a new show. So, make sure you're there.
Oh, true.
Make sure you're there to not only see how Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun wraps up, but to get a chance to suggest and vote on the next show we watch. So that'll be really, really important. Make sure you put some thought into it. I've kind of limited it down because I think it worked really, really well where everyone gets one request. So make sure you have, come with one. We might add a couple more if we don't have like enough heats, but come with one you really want us to watch, and then we'll vote on it. Make sure to call your grandma, your auntie, your cousin, so they can, stuff the ballots for you. But yeah. So speaking of that, break. I'll be honest. I didn't really have any hot topics for today. So I don't know if you had something. I don't know if you had something that was hot in the anime streets. If not, that's fine. But
hold on. I did find something actually. Find something's randomly on here. Because there was this person, it's a Chinese athlete that goes viral as he looks exactly like Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's part of the Tokyo Paralympics. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like it's funny to me because it's just like, what is going on here, right? Anime is just like it just took over. Like the Tokyo Olympics was just anime. It was a whole anime scene because there's so many people doing different anime things like freaking Frankie Super. You got Luffy's little pose. I was just like, what is going on? It's just as funny that I ran into this because it's just another guy that was, because it's still going on. It's like people we still doing this. Like it's crazy because it just shows just how popular like anime is. And then the thing is, like, Japan said, we're gonna lean on that because they actually had this whole thing set up where at the end of the Olympics they have the ending, or was it the ending? No, I think it was the opening for Demon Slayer play at the end of the Tokyo Olympics.
Oh wow! It's like the closing ceremonies.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like, what? They said they just went all weeb. Like we said, weeaboo power activate, and we just started going in.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why everyone was like, being like doing all their anime nods and things like that, because they're like, oh, we're in the homeland of like anime. Let me show out real quick. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like
I just really like that because it's like, with the Olympics, all different cultures come through. They all come to compete and everything like that. But one thing was for certain: there's a lot of suckers around the world that love anime. So anime's influence is quite big now than it was back then.
Yeah, I always think. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I always think it's really cool too because like in female hip hop, there's like a lot of girls, Meg Thee Stallion, Saweetie, like who will be giving nods to anime, Lizzo, and things like that. And it's just like so cool to see like how it's just like, yeah, of course I watch this, of course I rock with this, and like whether it's Sailor Moon or like, Meg has like expressed her like love for like, I think Jujutsu Kaisen, I think she made a nod to them. I know My Hero Academia, she did the whole Todoroki like two-toned hair and stuff like that. So it's just so cool to see it in all these like other like things I enjoy and watch just pop up, and people have like also be really enthusiastic and into it. Like it's cool to see because it's definitely not something I think I thought I would see, when I was a bit younger.
Yeah, not this hard either. I knew it was gonna be some stuff, right? But that was practically the whole theme of the Olympics, pretty much. Like that was it. All they needed was Hatsune Miku to be on the scene at some point and just doing her whole thing.
Like, hey, you missed me? Yeah. Also, this is unrelated, but kind of related. Did y'all see that the Google, you know how like they changed the Google, like the Google, like when you go onto Google, it's like a different artwork. Like when you go to Google,
you're talking about the text basically.
Yeah, and I don't know because I saw it was like a couple days ago, but I know the last day of the Olympics they had it, but if you clicked on it, it did first this whole animation, and then there was this whole game that you could like play. Yeah, and it was like you played this little kitty that was like trying to like do all these Olympic, like, you know, get gold in all these Olympic like sports or whatever. But it was like a whole game, and it had like this whole like animation like that accompanied game, and it like looked like One Piece. It was so good, like it was amazing. So I don't know if it's
I
still
didn't
up.
get that far in the game, unfortunately, so I didn't see too much. I tried to play and I got bodied by the computer multiple times. Like, I couldn't do it.
Honestly, it kind of was like they were playing. They're like, "Oh no, you're gonna have to work for this." So it was real good though. That yeah, the doodle. Thank you, Fortunate. That's what they call it. But yeah, I was
That's
like
what
this
it. Oh, okay. I didn't know what it was called. I guess they tend to have
Google
like
Doodle.
different things going on their little
Mm-hmm.
Google thing because kind of how Yahoo has its own. If you were to like, I think click like the little dot at the end,
Mm-hmm.
it says Yahoo, like actually says the name.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be doing different things. So I see
Yeah.
you, Google.
But I was just like, that was like the best game I ever played. Like it was so like in depth and stuff. I was really like I clicked on it and I was like, oh okay, a cute little animation. Then it was a game and I was like, oh, there's like multiple things that you can do here. Like it was crazy. It was crazy, but it was really, really fun. So I think it's still up. Maybe it's not, but like I would check it out. They probably have somewhere you can play it because I doubt they would just like get rid of it and have it not playable anymore because that'd be crazy. But yeah.
All right.
So
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say neither. I think it's okay if we wrap up here. Yeah, we've been out about 2 hours, so hello everyone. Honestly, if anyone knows any games similar to that one, I'd be down to check it out. I can't think. Oh, it's still there? Okay.
Oh,
That's good.
you want to play it on stream? Real quick,
honestly, that would
people?
be dope. That'd be a good stream. But I don't know any games that are like it. I haven't really played like those type of like pixel games in a while, so
Yeah, it's been a good minute, so I couldn't recommend you any at the moment.
yeah.
Give me some time though. Actually, there's one other thing I actually want to mention real quick. I forgot about this, but thanks to Andy here, I've been watching dance videos from Lisa or the Blackpink. So yeah, I was kind of up last night because there was quite a view. It was like a whole playlist, so I started watching some of that. Yeah, and he's been trying to put me on some stuff, so just throwing it out there.
Oh, okay. Wait, is Lisa like out of Blackpink? Is she like your bias? Is she your favorite member?
I mean, she kind of nice though. I won't lie. Right? She kind of going in. She knows how to dance. Okay, like she knows how to dance. I'm really surprised, like how, like the choreography in there is freaking legit.
This is actually kind of perfect, and maybe Andy, you did this on purpose, but she's coming out with a solo single album, so like only like 2 songs, but she's coming out with a solo. She's coming out with a solo. Yeah, they call it a single album. I'm pretty sure it's just like an A side, B side. But on the 10th, she's dropping her first solo album. So this is a prime time to stand, and she's kind of killing it. Like she's getting a lot of orders. So
I mean, she is talented. I cannot deny that. I cannot deny that. So, the fact that I was sitting there freaking late at night, it was like 6 a.m. after we got done watching some Tokyo Revengers. I was sitting there just trying to go to sleep. But then I was like, in my recommendations, I see a Lisa video, and I'm like, check out a little bit, see what's going on. Yeah.
Listen, that is so cute. I feel like that's such a K-pop fan thing to do. Like you find a new group you're into and you just spend the whole night like looking at new videos of them. Oh my god, you're an official K-pop fan. Andy putting in that work to get him to stay in Blackpink. But yeah,
you guys are poisoning me.
Well, before you know it, we have another co-host for the Sleepy Idol. We don't have to steal his credit card anymore. Listen.
Oh god. No, I'm gonna be in there freaking just giving you guys drinks.
Yeah, you can.
Let me get my bow tie real quick.
You work your way up from the guy we steal from like an actual employee at the Sleepy Idol. So listen.
Yeah, make my camera real small and everything. I'm just kind of there,
But that's so cute. I don't know if I would have pinned you as a Lisa girl, but I guess it makes sense. She's a dope dancer. She's a dope dancer.
Like I said, it's Andy's fault. I was like, was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday where we was watching videos, and I was like, okay, we got recommendations. If you guys want to show me some stuff, we can. And so Andy said, hey,
here you go.
Out. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm open to it. All right. So if there's anything else y'all want me to know, want me to go check out and see, I'm open to these things.
All right, we need to do like a joint stream where we just show break new stuff. I fortunate saying Itzy, but I remember you said that you didn't like them too much. You tried Itzy, but you
I tried it. Itzy's okay. Like I wasn't like, I don't know, and I wasn't like blown away by it. Like right now, like Blackpink is kind of where it's at, right? Blackpink in the area, you know.
Yeah.
I mess with them.
You know the catchphrase, y'all. I'm so excited. You're like Blackpink. I'm like, he knows their name.
and also Everglow is also still what I'm messing with right now. I need to see more of them though. I've been diving into the Lisa stuff right now, so just give me a minute.
Lisa on the brain. Oh, okay, because Andre just asked who's your Everglow bias, but I guess you're still working through like learning.
Yeah, I'm still working through. Yeah. Okay. It's a slow process. We're getting there. You're getting me, all right? You're getting me.
People are saying Fromis 9, Eyes 1. I think you might like FX. Did you try 2NE1? That's like the older sister group of Blackpink.
Yeah. Because you told me about this one. I did check out 2NE1. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Your Blackpink has your heart right now.
They got something, okay? They got something.
We have a blackjack, y'all. Oh my god. Would he like Red Velvet? I mean, the thing is, I think Red Velvet and Blackpink might have like if you had to split girl groups up to like two sides, they'd be on the same side. But I don't know if they're one to one. Like there's certain Red Velvet songs I think you would like if you're a Blackpink fan, but I don't know if you would necessarily be into Red Velvet. But I would say check them out. I think I'll send you some stuff. You checked them out?
I've already done that. Yes.
What'd you think?
Actually, they're good. I do like them. I do like them, but I mean, they're not Blackpink. They're not Everglow. Okay, look.
He said they're not my girls, so leave me alone. He said, take that trash away. No, just kidding.
Oh. You trying to give me a freaking shot. Okay.
I'm trying to get you get you dragged on Stan Twitter.
Yeah, I don't think I want that. I see how wild he get over there. I ain't trying to get in the Wild Wild West, okay?
Yeah, they might fight you. Although Red Velvet has a lot more songs than Blackpink, so yeah. I would say and they have a lot good. Not to say Blackpink doesn't, but they have really really good B-sides too. So if you didn't get a chance to check those out, I'd try those out. But I don't know. I think their singles. Oh. I really like most of their singles. So, but not Queendom, which was something they recently released. Unfortunately, I thought I would like it, but I don't like it as much as I thought I would. So,
dang.
Yeah.
And there it is. Talking about me. Look at you.
I love them. I do love them.
Look at them about to drag you. They're gonna drag you now.
Drag me if you must. I'll just click off. I just won't go on Twitter.
What Twitter? What's a Twitter?
Never heard of her. Speaking of Twitter, I just want to make an announcement. I hate making social media announcements because I'm always just like, oh, nobody cares. But I'm probably not going to be on Instagram anymore, at least for the foreseeable future. So that's just to say, if you are the person, or like one of the people who would send me DMs, or like that was your preferred way to send me DMs, I want to make sure you guys know I'm not like ignoring you or anything. I'm just not on. So if you want to send me anything, the best way would probably be Twitter or DMs now. So yes, if you want to send me any like topics for the Sleepy Idol or anything like that, that's the best place to do it now. So I've just found it not as kind of toxic, but I don't really want to get into that now. All right, so
Queen has spoken.
So I think that we can wrap it up here. But before we go, break. Any last words? Cocktail loaded.
I love you all.
And I will second that. I love you all too. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us this night, and we'll see you next week on Anime Club. It's gonna be 9 p.m. EST back on Twitch. And yeah, this is my last stream for the week. So I'll be posting my stream schedule probably on Monday, not Sunday this time. But yeah, so keep a lookout for that. Follow me on Twitter for updates on any like new updates on the stream schedule. I'll also post it to the community page. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.